Hello, welcome back for another interesting tutorial on decoupage. In this tutorial you will be learning a lot of new techniques, so stay tuned and watch till the end. So look at this gorgeous teapot that I have. Her friend had actually given it away to me. They were moving and she didn't want it anymore, and I was like, oh my god, this is a treasure, so I want it. So yeah, it's a beautiful teapot. I was actually thinking of making it into a vintage teapot, but I have another great idea, so we will be working on this teapot today. So I'm just going to use these beautiful papers, decoupage papers from Craft Angles. These are watercolor decoupage papers. Just look at these, how beautiful these. I just really love it. It really gives a nice a spring kind of feel. It's spring watercolor decoupage papers. I am going to show you how you can turn this into kind of a vintagey feel, so that's what we are going to do today. To start with, I am not going to do gesso paint on my teapot because it's a light color, so I will tell you how we are going to do that. So first what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a part of this paper. So I'm going to tear it with my hand. I'm not using scissors because I don't want those straight edges, so I'm just tearing it with my hands, and I'm not going to take the white part as well. Whatever techniques I'm showing today, guys, you can use it on many different projects in many different ways. These are wonderful techniques, so just take a note. These are beautiful papers that Craft Angles has. I think there's also another. It comes as a set of 4 papers. It's really beautiful. You must try some project with these papers. I hope mine comes out well. I haven't planned much. I'm just doing it on the go for this tutorial. So hope I do justice to these papers. Okay, so here are our papers, and our first technique that I'm going to show here to turn anything into a vintage paper or a vintage effect is called tea staining or coffee staining. So I have my tea decoction here. I have just dipped a tea bag in some hot water. So all I'm going to do is, you can take a brush and dip it in and just paint your papers, but I'll do a faster way. I will just show you how this is going to stain the paper. See, you can see the edge here that I have torn. So when I do this, can you see the brown color that it has taken? So that is how beautifully our paper is going to turn. It is going to give it a nice vintage effect. So I am just simply brushing my tea bag over this paper, and I will let it dry. If you actually see, it has taken a very light brown tinge, and that is going to give us this vintage look, and that's exactly what I want. And if you actually see, even the edges that we tore look really nice. This is a very beautiful technique, guys. It's such an easy technique, but the results are just awesome. The projects look beautiful, the ones that are made with this technique. You can also check in my YouTube channel how differently I have used this technique. So we'll dry these now. Can you see the beautiful vintage tinge, the brown tinge that the paper has taken? I really love it. Guys, you might think that I'm crazy, I don't know what I'm doing, but trust me, it's going to be beautiful. So yeah, these are our papers, keep that aside. So we have, okay, so what I'm going to do is, so these beautiful stained pictures that so I am going to decoupage this like this. So I'll make slits everywhere wherever the curves are, just so that we can glue it down neatly without any wrinkles. So that's another technique that you will learn. But since it's an extremely curved surface, there might be some wrinkles, but that's okay. We are going to see how to cover them. So when I'm making the slits also, I'm just trying to go around the design so it doesn't look like a straight line. So this is our Craft Angles Decoupage Glue. It's a really nice glue. It's quite sticky, so we'll just need a very little amount, and it dries really fast. So I would suggest you work in sections. Don't put the glue all over the place first itself. So just work in sections. It's easier. Before the glue dries, you can glue it down. So this is how it looks right now. I have just, if you actually see, I have pasted a lots of bits and pieces here and there. So we will see how to get all that together now. So yeah, I have made a mixture of texture paste, some gray color paint and real sand. So this is going to give me like a cement kind of an effect. So I'm just going to take this and apply it. It's quite grainy because I've used a lot of sand, so that it will give me the same cement bricks kind of look. See, that's how it's going to be. See, that's how it looks. You can do the same with just texture paste also, but I wanted a little grainy graphite kind of a look. This art is so versatile that you can do a lot of things. There is no end to your ideas. You can create so many different things along with decoupage. This is how it looks. Now I am going to give it some more texturing. Yes, I just cannot stop doing this. I'm going to give it some more texturing. So I have taken some texture paste. This is another technique that I'm going to teach you. I've taken some texture paste here. So make it pliable. However, you can mix water if you would like to. So I have a lot of greens on my decoupage design here, like trees and plants and shrubs and flowers. So I am going to create some texture around them. And the simplest way to do that is using some semolina or sooji or rava. Okay, yes. This is a wonderful product. You can use this to create that texture. This is also used for moss texture. This will give you this fog texture looks. So add as much as you want the texture to be. So I have just added some semolina or rava or sooji, whatever you call it. I have just added that to my texture paste. You should be able to easily apply it on your project. So if you want, you can add some water so that you can easily apply it. How much of a texture you want, you add as much rava to it. See, that is our rava texture paste. So now what I am going to do is I am simply going to apply this texture paste wherever I want some texture, and particularly for this design, see, I am going to add some textures here, and I will be giving them nice, mix it in green, and so it will look like your moss. You can do this to any project to give any kind of texture. This is a great idea to fill in the gaps also. See, I'm giving these here. If you're not very comfortable working with palette knife, you can use your fingers. So I am just simply applying these. And now when we paint this, it's going to give you that look of a shrub. So I'm just filling the gaps here wherever there is no decoupage napkin. I'm going ahead and putting this texture paste. This is going to give you a nice 3D look to the project. It shouldn't be neat, so play around. The reason we are doing all this is to give you that shabby vintage finish. That's what we are trying to achieve here. It's messy, guys, but trust me, it's a nice. Don't hesitate to try out different things when it comes to decoupage or mixed media art. Don't hesitate. If you have an idea, if something rings a bell in your head, please do try it out, because you never know how things look when you use them, how they give an effect to a project, or how they end up after drying or when you color. And in art, especially in decoupage and mixed media, there is absolutely no right or wrong. Whatever you do is going to look beautiful. You just need to have a little bit of color sense and everything looks really nice. It's your creativity and your imagination, so there is definitely no right or wrong to doing this. So this is how it looks. So all dried, all our faux textures are dry. See? So now what we're going to do is we are going to color these. I have these beautiful chalk paints from Craftangle. All I'm going to do is just dab the color onto the texture that we've done. Mix the colors so it looks quite natural. Can you see how beautiful that looks? If there's any white space, make sure to cover all the white spaces. So that's the beautiful texture that it gives. So this is how easily and beautifully you can create textures. You must try these techniques, guys. They just are gorgeous. You get a beautiful effect. See how blended it looks now with the whole decoupage napkin. I just love it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give the color here also in between, so it looks like it's on a green. I'm just kind of dry brushing, so it takes on little color. Another wonderful product that Craftangle has is this acrylic soft gel. Today I'm going to use it differently. Hope it comes out nice. And they have beautiful chalk paint colors. I just love this yellow. They have lots of these nice matte finish chalk paint. So we're going to use them. I think you might have guessed it right. So I'm going to use these to make some pretty flowers on our kettle now. So I'm just taking a little bit of the paints and I'm going to mix these with the soft gel and make flowers. This is a little bit similar to the palette knife painting. Yeah, slightly similar, not very similar. I'm going to take my soft gel. This gel is again a multi-purpose gel. It can be used in many different ways. So like I said, the soft gel can be used for many purposes. It can be used as a glue, like a mixed media glue. So I will take a little bit of the gel and I'm going to use it like a I'm simply going to make small flowers. The soft gel kind of gives it a nice 3D effect. See wherever I need some. This is just again to give some kind of a 3D effect to the whole project. That's it. You can paint normal flowers or the same way that I did green. You can do the flowers also in the same way that I did the green. But I like this 3D effect. It looks really nice. It doesn't need to be like a proper shape also for the flowers, and it looks really beautiful. We want flowers in a fairy house, right? And yes, we will give a lot of flowers. Because we also made the paper look vintage by adding our coffee stain. So this is another way to brighten the whole project. You could do the same thing with just paint, but like I said, this just gives that 3D effect. Okay, so look at our project. I am just loving it. It looks beautiful. Those flowers are looking gorgeous. Okay, now coming to the handle. I just painted it yellow and then thought that it looks too plain. So I am going to teach you guys another super technique to give texture. And this is called recycling. So I have these tissues with me. These are not kitchen napkins, but these are the back layers of the decoupage paper that we use. So I am going to use these today and create some texture on the handle and the cap. This technique again gives beautiful texture. I just love it. I use it in a lot of my vintage projects. You will see it. Very simple. All you have to do is just take your napkin and I am going to apply some glue onto my handle here. And simply just don't bother about all those wrinkles. That's what we want. and I'm going to give it a nice red, beautiful chalk paint. It's like a chili red. And I am not going to use brush here. I'm going to use a sponge and dab, because this gives me more coverage and it will also give me a nice texture. If I use a brush, it's going to give me strokes, so I don't want strokes. Have you guys guessed why I'm doing it in red? So we are not done with the technique, guys. We have more, and the next one is another interesting technique and it does wonders to your projects. It's called dry brushing. So like I said, I'm not going to leave the handle yellow. So I have just taken a teeny bit of orange color here, and I want to give it like a fox look. So I have taken some brown, and what I'm going to do is just very little, and I'm going to take the excess, brush off the excess in a tissue napkin like this. And now if you see, I'm just going to do this. You don't want so much paint. So when you keep doing this in layers, if you build up in layers, you will get nice effects, and it will also give you like a distressed look. So here we have our beautiful teapot fairy house ready, and this is the watercolor decoupage paper that I have used. It's really looking gorgeous, and all these flowers with the soft gel, it's looking absolutely beautiful. We will enhance it a little more. What I'm going to do is, I have this jute ribbon with me with leaves. So I am just going to tie it and make it look like a creeper. So we've learned so many techniques in this tutorial. One was how to tear a decoupage paper and give it a nice vintage look by tea staining it or coffee staining it. You can use even coffee. And then we learned faux moss using sand and using semolina. We learned how to do that faux marks with two different textures. One is with texture paste and sand, and then texture paste and semolina.
So here's our beautiful Kettle fairy house made with loads of techniques and wonderful products from Craft Angles. Do try out all these techniques, guys. They can be applied in many projects to make your work look gorgeous. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Do leave your feedback. Thank you so much for watching.